So how did you like Baddies ATL episode 2? And yes, by the way, I recorded this right after doing episode 1 because I just made the decision to do these reviews, and I just took the clip out of my hair and flipped it a little to the left and act like it's a new damn day. And you would have thought it if I had on a different shirt and I didn't tell you it was the same damn day. Anyways, episode 2 was absolutely crazy, and I have a little bit more notes this time, but there's just like a lot going on, but not like too many. Anyways, so it starts off where Natalie and Christina are fighting. Natalie's yelling, "It's the Natalie show." And guys, you can kind of see the pieces, but a couple things happen, but not really. So say for instance, the fight happened. At one point, I did tell Natalie like, yo, let go of her hair. And Natalie kind of like got onto me a little bit after that because she was like, "You're supposed to be on my side." I'm like, "I am, but it's like her hair." And I'm like weird about hair. Like, don't pull her hair, right? I got your back, but let go of her hair, please. So yeah, I didn't want them to fight. I was like awkward. I was like, okay, well, Natalie's got her hair. I can't pull Christina off of whatever because it's gonna pull her hair out. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm in an uncomfortable situation. And of course, Christina throws Natalie's wig out the window and I laugh. I'm not laughing because I'm like laughing at Natalie. I mean, you see my face. It was very serious the whole time, but like, it's comical. Like, what are we, children? Who throws a wig out the window? It's absolutely crazy. The fight kind of continues on more, and you hear me yell in the background a little bit, but not so much. And I'm saying like, the window, get her away from the window. Because when security was pushing Christina that way, the window was open. And like in my mind, I envisioned Christina falling out the window. And I'm like, oh God, production's about to be shut down. She's about to be for real hurt. I was like, get her away from the window. So that was that. Of course, Janelle, Seven, and them come in, and then Sidney's like walking around like, what's going on? I would have, Sidney, get out of here. Like, what are you even doing? Yo, I'm not gonna lie. In the house, guys, Sidney in real life, I like her. She's cool. She's a nice person. Sidney, when any cameras are around, whether it be the red carpet or in the house filming, is one of the most annoying people alive, okay? Drives me crazy. So I'm thinking like, Sidney, get your ass out of this damn room trying to get a damn scene right now. This has nothing to do with you. You late to the party. You should have been here 8 minutes ago, right? So after the fight is over, I don't know where or why, I guess Christina was heated. She tells Seven and Janelle, yeah, Natalie can do this and that, but I'm not Sarah. I'll crack her in the face. For one, you punched her in the armpit. That's number one. And secondly, me and Natalie have had a lot of falling outs because we have had a toxic relationship just because of things that have happened. And when we filmed OnlyFans back in October, we had a complete falling out. She became besties with Christina. She was like holding her hand at the conversation. I'm like, you don't even know her. And me and her got into it every day in the house. It was extremely stressful because Natalie and I argued every single day. And all the other girls would say things to me, and then they would want me to be the spokesperson and say it to Natalie about certain things that were happening, about us putting the project together. And basically okay, two things, guys. Hold on, I was just eating trail mix, so there's stuff in my teeth. Two things. They would say something to me. I would be the spokesperson of the group, being Christina, Shannon, Rocky, Jada, yeah, those four. And then when I would confront Natalie, they would all like play stupid or not want to say yeah that they said it, and then it leaves me in an uncomfortable situation. So not only do you not want to confront Natalie, but when I say what we all want to do as a collective, you then don't even back me up when I'm standing up for all of you. Like, what the hell is this? Because nobody wants to, like, everybody's scared of Natalie. It's absolutely crazy. So for Christina to say, I'm not Sarah, you just saw me argue with her a whole week during OnlyFans, a whole episode of The Conversation. You were her best friend, and people were calling you her lapdog because you listened to everything she said. And when we watched the premiere of The Conversation, her and I were not on the best page, but we were like cool. And I joked with her because when it was on Lemmy's Zeus Live, whatever, they said, Christina, how do you feel about being Natalie's lapdog? And then Natalie was like, no, that's my real friend. She's not a lapdog. And Christina's like, I'm not this and that. And I was like, y'all just made friends. Y'all not even real friends. And I said, the reason being, Christina goes, no, me and Natalie just really get along. I said, no, y'all aren't real friends. I said, if you're Natalie's real friend and you've known her for a while, there's no way you've never been in an argument with her. No, Sarah, me and Natalie get along. And I look over at Bria Miles, because Bria Miles has known Natalie for like 15 years. I've known her for like 10. And I said, Bria, I said, is Natalie easy to get along with? Have you ever fought with her? She goes, man, if you're Natalie's real friend, you're gonna get into it with her. And I said, exactly, Christina, you're not her real friend. Like, you don't even know her that well. So for her to get in a fight with her a couple months after meeting her, or what, 4 months. October was the show, they were besties, October, November, December. We film in February, a couple months later, and now you're saying, you can treat anybody else like that, treat Sarah like that, but not me. No, bitch, that's not true. So I don't know why you try to throw me under the bus, because that is 100% not true. Okay. So then it shows me and Natalie in her room, and we're joking about the bucket hats. Like I said, I like to laugh and joke and play. Like, I'm a very lighthearted person. I like to be happy. So we're just talking crap, like, how's she gonna throw your wig off? We're gonna hold up production, put on the bucket hat. I'm like, Natalie, you gonna start a bucket hat line now? She don't realize she just made you a bunch of money. And we just like laughing and joking, and it's whatever. I'm about to go eat something, maybe take a nap. I don't know, but it's comical. Next thing you know, I hear yelling downstairs. When I look over the balcony, I see Sidney yelling at Judi. Judi is sitting there, and it looks like, of course, the floor is wet. I go downstairs, and watching the show, I realized Seven and Janelle were part of the conversation at first, but they weren't when I got down there. Because when I got down there, I just saw Janelle sitting Seven sitting on the fireplace. At the time, I think Janelle may have went to the kitchen or something, because I remember her walking up as I was talking to Judi. So I'm thinking Judi's alone, and her and Sidney are going at it again. And I'm like, who spilt this? And of course, Sidney threw it on Judi. And I'm thinking like, wait. So yesterday when Natalie threw water all over you in the car, you ain't throw nothing at Natalie. But now that Sidney got you wet in the house, you throw a whole drink at Sidney. So I feel like Seven's energy shifted. Maybe it's because she's kind of friends with Natalie and not with Sidney, or is it how nobody wants confrontation with Natalie, or is it because you're mad you got spilt on twice, so at this point you've had enough and you want to throw the drink? I don't know, whatever it is. So I, of course, have Judi's back. For one, somebody's got to clean up this mess. If Judi threw the drink, I would ask Judi to clean it up. Like, I'm not going to live in a nasty house. Like, you guys know, I just spent 3 hours cleaning my room the night before, and for the living room to be sticky, like the camera people are gonna slip, it's gonna be sticky, ants are gonna come in, like we're not living in a disgusting house. So I get you were mad at her, but clean up this mess. She's like, no. I'm like, well, have your assistant, you keep talking about your assistant, let your assistant clean it up. Like, clean this mess up. So I know Judi the maid. No, Judi is not the maid. And then of course Sidney falls when she walks away, which I was like, oh, God got her back. Like, that's some karma right there. Like, that's crazy, right? Okay. So next thing you know, it is the conversation in the kitchen. And I noticed Tanisha said something about she turned down filming All-Star Battle in Hawaii. What I remember and what I was told, which, you know, of course, stories can change, especially when you be playing telephone. I remember when we were in the BGC 13 house, that Natalie called the house one day. This is when she'd already been kicked off because like her and the Red fight, and then Red bit her and took a chunk out of her arm. She said, Tanisha is going to be the host of your little challenge on the beach in Hawaii. You guys are going to Hawaii. Production immediately cut the phone off, and they also didn't let Natalie call the house anymore after that. And then Tanisha never came to host it. So what Tanisha says in this house is that she turned it down for some reason. I didn't hear what she said. But from my understanding was that since Natalie ruined the surprise on the show, they weren't gonna have her. I don't know what's the real story, but that's what you hear me say. Like, All-Star Battle in Hawaii, wait, what? Y'all probably didn't even catch it, it was so quick. Okay, so in the kitchen, it's kind of annoying because, okay, Christina's speaking, she's going in a rant, she's going crazy, everybody's listening. Janelle then gives a long speech, and she's like, oh, like my face was beat, I did this, and I just came to look good, and I did this, and I appreciate the makeup, and blah, blah, blah. Talking about a whole bunch of nothing about makeup, okay? And then Seven speaks for a little bit to tell her side of the story. And then when it comes Sarah's time to speak, everybody is screaming over me. literally screaming over me. And what I was trying to say is like, yeah, there's a lot of madness going on, but Tanisha doesn't even know everything that's going on. Like, she wasn't there for that fight. She wasn't there for the chaotic ride to the photo shoot. She also wasn't there. Gosh, there were so many things that were happening. Sidney, like, banging pots and pans in the middle of the night, waking us up, fighting all day long. Like, Tanisha didn't have to experience all that, which was a lot of headache. So what I was trying to say in that moment, I believe the first one, was something about like, you don't even understand the madness we've been dealing with, from like, yo, just household stuff, guys. It was so stressful. So everybody cuts me off as soon as I start talking. And I'm like, you listen to her craziness, Christina's, you listen to Janelle talk about makeup, you listen to Seven's story, and when Sarah speaks, everybody is screaming over me. All right, Natalie talks, Tanisha talks. She's like, you know, we got to do better. We got to do this and we got to do that. We got to have a side conversation later. You see me talking to Natalie like in the corner, like, no, like she ain't even putting up with all this. Like, this ain't fair. Like, y'all both EPs, like she needs to be here too. Like, it's a lot of work. Like, it's super stressful, right? So then at one point, Tanisha says, oh, so the second time I go to speak, Tanisha interrupts me and Sidney was like, Sarah, let Tanisha speak. And I'm like, damn, y'all interrupted me the first time, now you interrupted me the second time. Also, when me and Natalie were talking about certain things that were happening, Sidney goes over to Judi and tries to make it about her and them again. Like, you can't use the same damn story time 15 times, which of course she does and she will and she'll continue to do it. So no. Tanisha then says, if we can come up with a solution. I said, I know the solution. Guys, I'm a very solution-oriented person. I try to take feelings out of things, and I'm like, okay, let's come up with a solution. How do we move forward? Like, forget how you feel, forget this, forget that. We don't know what this person was thinking, what he did. It doesn't matter. Let's find a solution. So when Tanisha says, let's think of a solution, I'm like, oh, me, solution, because that's the way I operate in real life. I've trained myself to do it for the past like 2.5 years. I dated an attorney, so he is the one that taught me to be like that. So it's something that I've added to my personality and my character by learning from him. So I'm very much so a solution-oriented person, and try not to worry about anything that I cannot control because it'll drive you crazy and it's just a waste of time. Just deal with it when you get to it, okay? So yay, I got a solution. So as I'm starting to talk, oh, and I'm going to address the Tanisha thing at the door. So as I'm starting to talk, and I said, well, you're an EP, she's an EP, there's 8 girls, why don't we divide in half, 4 and 4, which 1 being them, because it would be Tanisha being 1 and then 3 more, Natalie being 1 and then her and 3 more. And yo, all hell broke loose, like, Sarah, da-da-da-da-da, this and that, and I don't even know you, and blah, blah, blah. For one, Tanisha, you said on 3 reunions, I was your fan favorite. I also joked with you. I brought you a gift. When we did the Bad Girls Funniest Moment special, I even joked and tried to pick you up. Like, I've always like messed with you in like a way, because I flirt with people, like girls or guys. That's not a sexual flirtation. I'm a very, very flirtatious person. So if I like you and I harass you, and that's what I keep telling Tanisha, I said, people I don't like, I don't talk to you and I don't mess with you. If I harass you and joke with you, it means because I like you. I only mess with my friends. You guys remember how many times I'd be like, oh, I'm harassing Kiko, and he'll be like sleeping and I'll be kissing him on the face. That's what I do. I do it with my friends. I do it with my dog. I do it with my boyfriend. And I kept telling Tanisha, just as I told her multiple times over the years, like, I like you. And I guess because I was close with Natalie in the house, maybe she didn't want to believe it, maybe thought I had a motive, but she saw me and hosted 3 of my reunions and said I was her favorite. Also, after OnlyFans, we had a long conversation on the phone with Amber, aka Cookie, just talking about just the whole experience and things that happened in the group chat and just the madness of that. So her and I had a real heart-to-heart talk about different things before her coming on this project. So I feel like her to kind of like play me in the house, like trying to not let me talk, and then saying like, I don't even know you, and then trying to storm out and nobody letting me speak. I think that's not okay. Why does everybody else get to speak without being interrupted, but Sarah's not allowed to speak? I don't know, guys. I don't think it's right, and I don't like it. You will continue to see it happen, and I don't know what I need to do to work on myself to make it stop happening. I don't know. But like, once like certain things happen to you over and over, you kind of gotta like self-reflect and be like, what is it that I'm doing? I don't know, but it's gotta stop. Anyway, so that episode was absolutely crazy. At one point, I even told Tanisha, because it was raining outside, I was like, yo, come in, you're getting rained on, come in. She's like, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want. I'm like, I'm worried about you, like, please just come in and wait for your car. Like, I won't talk to you, like, it's fine. And then even the day before, Seven says something to Tanisha in the kitchen, and I guess they were saying Tanisha heard Natalie talking crap about her outside. And she's like, what are you talking about? We all went to Magic City, like we went out to the strip club. And one thing that I noticed is that I was like trying to put my stuff in the car, and I guess Tanisha was a little annoyed about the whole evening, and she was like, Sarah, something, da-da-da, and yelled at me. And I was like, wait, what? I'm like, why are you yelling at me? I'm just putting my stuff in the car. So that's what I brought up on this episode as well. So yeah, it was absolute chaos, absolute madness. It will continue to be chaos. It will continue to be madness. And I have found myself in the middle of a lot of different things that was unexpected. So yeah, guys, I don't even be trying to do nothing. I don't know how I get stuck in the middle. I honestly do not try to be inserting myself. Like, there's not a time where you just, how Sidney popped up in Christina's room, like, what is going on? Or Janelle saying like, oh, I had to get, or Seven saying, I'm nosy, I had to get the tea. Like, no. Natalie was like, you know, this makeup thing's an issue, come with me to talk to Christina. Okay, cool. Like, I hear Sidney yelling at Judi, and I'm like, oh my God, you're yelling at my friend. Like, let me see what's happening. Like, clean up this mess. It's not okay. And then, of course, at the end, everything was chaotic. And I'm like, Tanisha, that's not cool. Like, you need to take half the responsibility because this isn't right. And then, of course, that led to whatever. So I'm a person who speaks up. I'm not trying to cause a lot of drama and be in things. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, guys. So I hope that gave you a little bit of insight. If you have any questions or comments, please write them below. Make sure to like this video. And yes, any questions that you have, I will try to answer them on the next video of next week for episode 3. And until next time, I love you guys and bye.